thus is our client. He will tell the story and the lawyers will build on what it is. Tell your story.
Yeah, I'm very frustrated with DPP, Mr. Noordin Haji. I'm a senior citizen. I'm nearing 70 years, and it is unfair for him to treat, you see, the justice I was looking for. It, I've been corresponding with him, and he does not even reply my correspondence. He had given me his card, his email. He does not reply. And as a senior citizen, I'm not happy, satisfied. I request Mr. Noordin Haji to leave the office as the elderly senior citizen of this. That is what I want to inform you.
Well, as you have heard, our client has a big issue with the Director of Public Prosecution. Shadrach will bring out the issues with Martina, then I will be able to conclude what the issues are. Shadrach.
Thank you. Now, just to give you a panoramic view of the issues that have resulted to the filing of the petition that is currently before the Public Service Commission, is that sometime in the year 2015, our client, Mr. Schon, advanced a loan of about 167 million shillings to his friend and a former business partner by the name Ratilal. So it was agreed between themselves that Mr. Ratilal will pay the loan advance to him within a period of time and with a certain. Mr. Ratilal, in a fashion that is akin to persons who are very good and crafty at obtaining others by falsely pretending to have the capacity to pay the loan, wrote some checks in favor of our client, Mr. Schon, in the hope that Mr. Schon will go and cash them out. So when Mr. Schon made the attempt to go and cash these checks out so that he could realize his 240 million shillings, the loan that he has worked for so many years as a director of Jack and Chill. Now, it so happened that Mr. Ratilal instructed his bank not to honor those checks. So in summary, we see a situation where Mr. Ratilal finally succeeds at obtaining the 240 million shillings that was a loan that was advanced to him by Mr. Schon. So what does Mr. Schon do? Mr. Schon engages lawyers. He writes to the DCI. He engages the DPP on a number of occasions, trying to get to the root cause, or rather to find justice in the issue that he finds so pressing as a senior citizen. As you can see, his advanced age, he is a man who should be giving, or rather should be having his money so that he can give to his children and to the children of his children. So the DPP on a number of occasions has met with our client, Mr. Schon. The DPP, while meeting him at Serena Hotel, gives him his card, his email and his contact, and tells him that in any event, if you have a problem, please come to my office, see me, send me the story or the tale, and then I will be of fundamental help to you. Now, when Mr. Schon writes and makes a follow-up on the whole issue, the DPP, Mr. Noordin Haji, a man who has become a man of public interest, refuses to respond to his email, refuses to respond to his letters. In a letter dated the 2nd day of November 2019, Mr. Noordin Haji writes a letter to our client, Schon, and he tells him that as far as he's concerned, his claim entirely and squarely lies in a civil court. This is despite Mr. Schon's clear and preponderance of evidence that he presents before the DPP to demonstrate that he was actually obtained by a person called Ratilal in the pretense that this person will finally pay the 240 million shillings that was advanced to him. So, the claim now, as it is before the Public Service Commission, is what has now increasingly become the order of the day of a man called Mr. Noordin Haji, the Director of Public Prosecution, a man that is keen on frustrating the criminal justice process, a man who, in the name of the independence of the Constitution, purports now to be acting independently from the Constitution. He has refused to give victims of crime their day in court.
he has refused to call to question the perpetrators. And as my sister shall tell you, there is there is there is there is a plot, or this has been a plot that has been castrated, or rather, sorry, this is a plot that arises out of a relationship between Mr. Atilal and a former director of public prosecution. And it is so strongly believed by our client that the reason why Mr. Noordin Haji has refused to take any criminal step or to take any action against Mr. Atilal is because of the relationship between one of his former colleagues or directors or deputy directors and himself. And therefore, we are hoping that in the fullness of time, that citizens, as it is being seen, citizens will come out in their large numbers. It is good that when the king is naked, it is good for a democracy, a constitutional democracy like ours, to come out strongly, robustly, and speak to the ills of public service, public officers who are mutilating our constitution. Thank you.
The first petition is the third petition we are filing on behalf of our client who is complaining about the misdemeanors and the misdeeds of the Director of Public Prosecution, Mr. Haji. We are not attacking the services of the office, but think in his personal capacity has frustrated so many processes of justice and his utter disregard for the rule of law. The particulars of that petition address issues that summarize why we should leave that office immediately. Acts of impunity, acts of disregard to the law, incompetency in his discharge of the mandate as the officer of the Director of Public Prosecution. Therefore, this is a very sensitive matter that has an public interest, and we are even urging members of the public who have the same qualms to come forward so that we can make sure that we have made decisions so that in the interest of justice, we can be able to see the sanctity of the office of the Director of Public Prosecution. He is a public officer and we should act according to the code of conduct that is bestowed upon the public officers. And therefore, such acts will not be taken lightly. This is a democratic country, and we as the public, and on behalf of our clients, we demand that justice will be the right to do.
Well, as you know very well, we filed, this is the third petition. Past petitions have gaggled the Director of Public Prosecution and the Law Society of Kenya President, Noordin Haji, got orders to stop the media to cover this. We are not dealing with that because that is contentious. Save that the petition by the Law Society of Kenya is only defending two others. One, Mr. Noordin Haji. Two, Justice Ole Kantari. All these are members of LSK. I being a member of LSK. Who will protect us? We don't know. For the LSK has now identified with the mighty to protect only the mighty. Number two, the petition that we have filed raises fundamental questions that my associates have raised. But of great concern is the speech by the Director of Public Prosecution when he addressed the NCAJ meeting in that petition. That the Director of Public Prosecution, one Noordin Haji, disclosed that he went to Somalia and fought the Al-Shabaab. The position, whether he went as a DPP or he went when he was working at NIS, raises very fundamental questions that are enough for him to leave office. One, under the rules of disciplined officers and vetted officers, you do not disclose what you did while you are in that place. He has disclosed that NSIS and him went to Somalia, which is contrary to the oath of office that he took while in NIS. Two, he has confirmed that he went to Somalia, came back successful, and is a war veteran, which to us is an indication and a serious threat to the advocates who are filing this petition. He's telling us his achievements in the battlefield where Al-Shabaab have been killed. How safe are the advocates who are doing their job? So as I've said, we shall be moving to record a statement with the police. We shall be moving to ask the Director of Public Prosecution to be investigated, because that to us is a serious threat of how he has accomplished the annihilation of Al-Shabaab in Somalia. Third, we shall be moving to the Director of Criminal Investigation to record statement, and we shall expect the Director of Public Prosecution to summon one Noordin Haji, not as the DPP, but as the person who made the utterances threatening people, threatening my client and everybody else, that he himself is a war veteran and nothing can be done to him. He's a bad. Third issue that we have raised in that is on what the implication of the statement by Noordin Haji means. Are we now going against the international conventions on war? The Geneva Conventions on War are that it is only military officers who go to other countries to fight. How did Noordin Haji go to Somalia to fight? Is this going to cause Kenya a problem that our intelligence services are involved in hostile activities in another country? This is a man that we are saying, yes, he has proved that he's a serious military operative, he's a serious fighter, and he has survived the bullets of Al-Shabaab, but he is totally incompetent as a director of public prosecution. In the terms of the job he has proved he's incompetent, and that is why our client has gone to the Public Service Commission to remove the Director of Public Prosecution from office. Lastly, the Director of Public Prosecution, through this petition, has completely refused to act pursuant to Article 157, sub-clause 11. Yes, in his speech at NCAJ, and for God's case, we shall be calling, he made this statement in front of the Chief Justice, in front of the Director of Criminal Investigation, in front of the Inspector General of Police, and all these people, because we shall be summoning them to be witnesses, because we shall be moving to court either tomorrow or Wednesday to seek for an order for the court to give the National Police, the Inspector General, to give us security. Because we have been threatened somebody with immense power. Lastly, Director of Public Prosecution. We hope he is a Director of Public Prosecution. He does his job as a Director of Public Prosecution pursuant to Article 157. Guarding the media, contrary to Article 35 of the Constitution, is unheard of. What is he hiding that he must get gag orders, that nobody can cover this? We know very well that is the dream, the old days when the old Constitution was there. We shall be moving to court to challenge the orders to stop the media from covering the first and second petition. And we hope by today at 2, the media is also going to be gagged over this one, but still there are more. More Kenyans are coming. You cannot stop what Kenyans want. And that Article 158 was not put there accidentally. It was put there for public prosecutors who go beyond their role. With me, Mr. Cliff Ombeta, who is supposed to be here, is tied up elsewhere. His position as mine and as Shadrach and as everybody is that Mr. Noordin Haji should resign. He does not need to be in office. He does not need to undergo the process. How can he stop the Public Service Commission from doing their constitutional mandate? Receiving petitions, processing petitions is a mandate of the Public Service Commission. So we hope that he'll hear this, leave the media to do their job pursuant to Article 35 of the Kenyan Constitution of 2010. Any other?